France's Provence transforms into an inferno. Houses, pine forests, hills, seaside. No one is safe.
We haven't had a real fire season in years, but this one could become very bad.
Down that road?
No, there's no evacuation that way.
They lit a counter-fire against, meaning a fire that goes towards the wildfire meets it and stops it.
Tell them to send more. In total, 12,000 acres go up in smoke in a summer that sets the record for the number of fires. A daily challenge for the firefighters. 3 months of battling the flames. The opportunity to put into practice years of training. They know that some in their ranks may be injured.
I was scared when I found myself on the ground.
With 6,000 firefighters and 1,500 vehicles, the Bouches-du-Rhône department is one of the best equipped in France.
I stabilize. I want to roll it back. I stabilize.
On land, in the air, or on the water, they observe and stand ready to intervene. Go on! For the soldiers of fire, this season will long be remembered. You will witness their daily lives, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, battling the flames.
Vient de constater un feu. Mistral, touche un départ de feu très massif. Ok. On va larguer une petite flamme gauche. Allez, on y va. Tracker leader, Cody 13. Le feu arrive sur le centre de secours. Cody 13 à la zone 13 de Costrognac. On défend les maisons, les gars.
We're at the halfway point of a hot, arid summer, and with the slightest spark, the vegetation could ignite into flames. During summer, the Mediterranean zone is always put to the test, but this year is particularly destructive. Alerts come one after another, and the firefighters have one sleepless night after the other. High-tech surveillance equipment, tactical operations against the fires, but also bravery and sweat. The teams are now perfectly honed to intervene in forest fires. As if human recklessness was not enough, arsonists have begun starting fires. Homes have been destroyed, and firefighters have been seriously injured. The regional brigade has called in reinforcements from all over France. This is the daily routine of SDIS 13, the Bouches-du-Rhône Department Fire and Rescue Service that's facing a massive influx of tourists during the extreme fire season. On alert 24/7 with the fire brigade. Today, the Mistral is blowing hard, and summer is often synonymous with incendiary disasters. Since this morning, 3 fires have already destroyed 1,700 acres near the giant fuel tanks at Fos-sur-Mer. To protect the tanks, the firefighters must pour water on them. 100 firefighters are already on the site. The day is already quite complicated for the Bouches-du-Rhône Fire Department, without counting the 310th fire of the year that will push them to their limits. It's 3:09. A lookout spots some suspicious smoke. The alarm is confirmed by a thermal surveillance camera that locates a fire igniting between the plateau of Arbois and the A7 motorway that serves Marseilles. At 3:15, 6 minutes after the alarm, firefighters intervene. But it's already too late. In a few minutes, the biggest fire of the decade has begun, lit by a cigarette butt. This fire threatens Marseille and its suburbs. Greater Marseille counts 1.5 million inhabitants. It's the strategic center of the PACA region, with its highways, its airport, and its TGV station. Around its outer limits, large forests with scattered homes are an ideal terrain for fires. Like every year, at the beginning of fire season, local fire brigades call in reinforcements from less threatened departments. But today, not even this will be enough, because the fire at Fos-sur-Mer, combined with the other fires, have already drained the available workforce. Colonel Gregory Alleon, the director of the SDIS 13, the Bouches-du-Rhône's fire brigades, is in charge. The situation is so serious, the colonel himself takes charge of managing the operations.
Jean-Pierre, Bernard, listen, I'm taking command of relief operations.
From here out, he will battle the fire with his men on the ground.
Taking command is a strong act. It's putting yourself on the front line and telling your men, follow me. For a departmental director, taking the direction of the relief effort means becoming exposed. My command will or will not succeed in establishing a good working relationship. It's a big risk, but one I have to take.
The water-bombing aircraft immediately get involved. The Canadairs, but also the trackers and the Dash 8.
I'm starting with 2 operations. The trackers and the Dash are dropping fire retardant on the right flank. I want to prevent it from spreading and reaching Vitrolles.
Code is 13, Tracker 11.
Each type of aircraft is given a precise mission.
We're dropping on the flank.
The Dash and the trackers drop retardant on the right flank to slow the flame's progression toward the first houses at Vitrolles, while the Canadairs irrigate the fire's left flank to reduce its intensity.
This is where I'm at.
Any orders for the fire retardant team?
No, not yet, but we'll get there. You can start making suggestions now. We have to find ourselves a window of opportunity, and no matter how small, when it arrives, we strike.
Colonel Alleon's tactic is to channel the fire, then gradually decrease its width. Once the front line of flames is reduced, it will have lost its force. Firefighters can then simply block its path.
Okay, let's get moving. I'm taking command of relief operations against the fire in Rognac.
For the colonel, it's double or nothing. In case of an accident, he alone assumes the responsibility with the population and the local authorities.
The fire in Rognac keeps spreading on the Vitrolles plateau. It's progressing by hundreds of yards. The Canadairs are trying to stop it, but can't.
The right flank is fanned by the wind right now. I think it'll jump over us. During an intervention, an officer has very little time to make a decision. A team leader has only a few seconds to assess whether his environment is clear enough that he can commit his team. We may be experienced and have a lot of information, but in a half a second, when deciding how to fight a wildfire, can we really know everything?
To make the required tactical decisions, the colonel needs to know the situation minute by minute. He's helped by Horus 13, the aerial surveillance plane flying above the operations zone.
We're on the west of Whiskey Tango, and we're proceeding.
Horus continually sends images and instantly maps data of the fire's progress. On board, a fireman makes the link between the crew and Codis 13. Today, Commander Fabrice Mosset guides the aircraft.
Horus here. We departed from the fire's origin and we're flying up its right flank.
Roger that, Papa Charlie.
Do we have a particular mission?
Received you loud and clear. Continue around the fire and look for hot spots.
Horus is equipped with military surveillance equipment. It can film a firefighter at 16,000 feet. Gyro-stabilized infrared cameras enable it to detect hotspots both day and night.
The onboard camera is located outside and contains 3 lenses which can film either in wide angle or close-up, normal, or infrared vision. You can see the flames and where the hotspots are. Thanks to all this information, we can guide the teams on the ground.
I'm at the Vitrol's radar. The CCF 115 just arrived. I'm sending it to the hottest sector, to the R114.
This August 10th, the vegetation is so flammable, the wind is so violent, the fire has so much energy that the firefighters will be overwhelmed.
We've had a very, very dry winter. It didn't rain. The dry vegetation is a real issue. It's ready to flame up. That's the first difficulty. The second is that the wind is very strong in the afternoon. It can blow up to 60 miles per hour.
Originating in an anticyclone in the Atlantic, a northwest wind passes through France to be sucked in by a low-pressure area in the north of Italy. In the narrow passage between the Alps and Massif Central, the wind dries and accelerates. It's a strong Mistral, lashing the south of France. As commander of relief operations, Colonel Alleon gets the code name COS Lancelot 13. Aboard the Dragon helicopter, he will oversee the operation zone and guide the squadron of Pelicans, the Canadaires.
Code is Horace. We zoom on what? That radar there.
The first operation, protect a sensitive site, the radar that guides all air traffic for the airport of Marseille-Provence and its 23,000 daily passengers. Dragon hovers. Its nose indicates the exact area where the Pelicans must drop their water loads. Their flight is complicated. The hot burning air doesn't provide lift for the planes, and the turbulence pushes them towards the ground. But all winter long, the pilots train to anticipate these difficult conditions.
You see, 3 or 4 days of Mistral, it's obvious we'd get pushed. You see how the water went backwards? We dropped it at the end of the line, and it still fell right in the middle.
Leader, you have the 2 Pelicans above you. Do you copy?
Copy that.
The first drop's a little short. The water is pulled over the cliffs and struggles to reach its target. Dragon adjusts its position by a few yards.
The wind is blowing 60 miles per hour. We'll drop at the last possible moment, so the water gets carried to the fire by the wind.
The Pelicans must drop their loads after the cliff and let the wind carry the water to the target.
Picture the water coming out and getting pushed back. It'll help you predict when to start the drop. Sometimes you need to fly right by the spot and drop the water a second later, so it lands where you want.
Colonel Alleon's first goal is achieved. The flames were diverted from the radar. However, on the Arbois Plateau, the situation looks tougher. This plateau is a nightmare for firefighters. Inaccessible, windswept, it's regularly ravaged by fires which spread at a very high speed.
Yeah, go ahead. Go by foot.
Then things get even more complicated, because in addition to Martigues and Fos-sur-Mer, other fires are igniting in the region, complicating Colonel Alleon's mission.
The COS pulled out both Pelicans to go fight a fire in Var.
The water bomber aircraft are national resources. They belong to the civil security services and not to the fire brigade. When needed, they're sent to firefighters in all regions of France. Today, they have to fly to the Var. The Rhône fire threatens highly urbanized areas. On the right flank, the residential and commercial area of Vitrolles. On the left flank, the Paris-Marseille TGV line and its 50,000 daily passengers. Straight ahead, Marseille.
The left flank is spreading fast on the Arbois Plateau.
C'est un feu qui surprend.
The fire is surprising, unpredictable, eruptive, and keeps spreading exponentially. It's a unique type of fire.
At the fire's front line, the thermal radiation can produce up to 1 gigawatt, the level of energy of a nuclear power reactor. Firefighters know that it is useless to try to intervene here.
When we arrive on the plateau and the fire's already there, it's moving too fast. We can't get in front of it. That would be incredibly dangerous. The wall of flame sometimes reaches 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. We absolutely can't fight it from the front.
There's no other solution than to let the fire cross over the Arbois Plateau. Colonel Alleon boxes in the right and left flanks, protecting the homes while reducing the width of the flames' front line, hour after hour. A good tactician knows that sometimes you have to lose before you can win, leaving some places burned to better concentrate forces. And then, finally, when the fire has weakened, a strong position, well supplied with water, will allow you to stop the fire. At the end of the plateau, the D9 highway blocks the path of the fire. The defensive line will be positioned here. This is the perfect place to strike the final blow.
We need the D9 closed.
The fire will come to die on this asphalt. Colonel Squillery is on the scene.
We arrived on the D9 with our vehicles, but we're hindered by the traffic. The road hasn't been closed yet. I need confirmation the D9 is closed.
It's 5:30 and Dragon guides the Pelican's water drops. Their mission, reduce the virulence of the fire's front line.
The cars are taking the D9 the wrong way. They're trying to escape.
6 p.m. The Rognac fire is no longer a distant threat confined to the woods. On the D9, it charges the firefighters' defensive line, preceded by a cloud of burning vegetation.
We tried to fight the front line, but the Mistral was blowing in our faces and breaking our water sprays. We could only reach around 6 yards, when usually our water nozzles can spray up to 40 yards.
We're struggling to maintain our position. The fire in Rognac is currently spreading freely. I have no way to fight it directly, except on the right rear flank.
They may stop the flames on the ground, but the fire flies over them in a cloud of embers spreading across the road.
Sparks and embers start the road, lighting up behind us.
The fire will jump the D9 road and spread towards the houses near Plante Campagne.
Pine trees on the other side begin to burn. I sincerely fear for Ben Mirabeau. We asked for quick reinforcements on Ben. Come on, come on!
Ground and air forces had just jumped the D9.
If we can't hold the front, we'll have to retreat. And we'll need to deploy more air support.
We're withdrawing. No one's on the path. We saw TG-22.
This moment marks a turning point in the fire's progress. Its direct charge has metamorphosized into a multi-headed hydra. If you cut off one head, out comes another.
The fire started to spread between the houses. As soon as you get reinforcements, send them here.
The fire is constantly moving. It's like an urban guerrilla. It moves from garden to garden.
The fire's made it to the front left house, under the power lines.
The fire has broken through the defenses and spread into the residential neighborhoods.
On the left flank, a house is in danger. The fire is progressing.
All countermeasures are engaged, even those that seem useless. The wooded suburban areas are interfaces of city and forest, a hybrid environment that further complicates the firefighter's task.
A wildfire is not just a wall of fire. It's often more like a lot of small fires moving quickly. So we have to move even faster to be efficient against wildfires. Sending men out there with the right amount of trucks and the smallest teams possible means sparing resources.
We have to move very quickly, and our big trucks are useless. We thought about how to proceed, especially suburban areas, which are common in the south of France. We need small vehicles like pickups equipped with pumps. We rely on people's pools to get water, and with 2 firefighters, we can't stop the fire, but we can divert it. It means we prevented the house from burning. That's essential. We comfort people, we save the animals, and we get everyone to safety.
To implement this new strategy, the firefighters can also count on community volunteer firefighters who come to help them with their fleet of light vehicles. But the high number of houses to protect mobilizes a lot of manpower, slowing the firefighters in their struggle to stop the fire.
People who evacuate close their gates. They're electric gates, and we can't just break them. It's very difficult to progress, to protect, and to extinguish the fire. Our priority is to protect the houses.
Residents are trying to help defend their homes. But there's so much demand on the water network that there is hardly any water pressure. It's impossible to verify every home. For those whose home will be destroyed, the weight is terrible.
The right flank of the fire is difficult to handle. We have to deploy a lot of our resources to protect the homes. And we don't have a truck for every home. That's impossible.
On the road, I see 2 houses on fire.
Totalement.
The fire is now so spread out that there are not enough firefighters. Hour after hour, columns of reinforcements arrive from all over France, but their trucks are slow.
Codis 13, copy that. We've got 2 departmental columns on arriving soon in the zone. Lancelot 13, Skilari, I'm checking the area to make sure that no one is left in the houses. I'll keep you updated.
To continue recognizance, Jean-Pierre Squillery gets help from a local resident.
I'm going from house to house to see if anyone's inside. Visibility is limited to 20 yards. Everybody's been evacuated except one person in mortal danger. They refuse to evacuate. She's hiding. We're in search. Very often, older people refuse to evacuate. We have to move them by force. They're particularly at risk, asphyxia or heart ailments. Sometimes it's difficult to get them into a vehicle because they have disabilities. We understand that they don't want to leave their house, but it's necessary to save their lives.
The situation's critical on the right flank. The fire's coming down from the plateau.
It's 7:30 p.m. The fire has blazed for 4 hours. A new challenge awaits Colonel Alleon and the firefighters. The wind direction has been stable, but it now veers slightly north, and in 15 minutes, the fire that's been progressing in a straight line swells to the right and down to the south, towards the fields, industrial zones, and shopping centers. These familiar places suddenly seem very precarious. The Mistral is carrying burning embers hundreds of feet. They climb up to the highway and burn a truck dealership. The vehicles add their column of black smoke to the air that's already unbreathable.
Those greenhouses are burning. That large field is filled with greenhouses. If it spreads from there, it'll reach the houses on the south side.
Horus 13 indicates the new fire, but all the trucks and aircraft are busy in other sectors or on other fires. There'll be damages, that's for sure.
I know. Hold on, I'll send you everything I've got as soon as it gets here. We'll keep the planes fighting as much as they can, but they're having trouble with the smoke.
To avoid a disaster on the right flank, Colonel Alleon presses civil defense to recuperate the Canadaires.
I urgently request all air support for fighting the Rhône fire. If we can't get control of the right flank, it'll reach Marseilles. Do you copy?
The farmers defend their greenhouses as best they can to hold on until the arrival of the firefighters. 8 p.m. The helicopters refill in the basin of an apartment residence. They're the first to intervene.
Codis 13, we've got a fire starting next to the highway.
Then the Canadaires come back, and it's their turn.
Codis 13, Pelican 45 leader, come in.
Can you drop on the side of the highway?
Approaching drop point.
Behind the greenhouses, a hillside becomes a strategic point. If the fire passes over it, it will be completely free to travel a second route to attack Marseille from the west. The aircraft have only 30 minutes before returning to base for the night. While they attack the fire, they must keep the right flank from spreading out, then go around the flames to block their path before they reach the top of the hill. A first truck is finally able to get free. Its crew leaps into action.
If you have aerial means, send them now.
To the left, to the left!
Handle that quick, and we'll go to the right.
Left, hit it there. Pick up the pace, hit harder. Attack up there, not from behind. Move over there.
We're struggling a lot trying to maintain position.
Come on, guys, hit harder, advance.
Come on, pull.
Codis 13, Tracker 22, we're about to drop.
The fire's spreading on the right flank.
But the fire accelerates on the slope. To overtake it, the firefighters deploy their entire stock of hose lengths. 2 hoses! Get 2 extensions! Hurry!
To all sector chiefs, the planes are returning to base.
The fire travels so fast, the firefighters can only follow it and don't have enough time to get in front to stop it.
Hurry! Follow it! William, run! Open it!
Icarus just told me it's the last passage for the Canadair. The trackers are returning, so we only have air support for 5 more minutes.
Copy that.
The airplanes and helicopters must land. It would be suicidal for them to fly in the dark just above the power line. The firefighters on the ground are now alone with the monster.
Okay, guys, I know you're tired, but we're attacking one more time. Come on! Open it!
The flames have widened their lead. The right flank has been contained, but the fire arrives first at the top of the hill. From up there, with the Mistral's help, the fire can easily bombard the valley with burning embers, igniting more and more houses. Colonel Alleon's fear becomes a reality. The fire has opened a second path to Marseilles. The fire is surrounding the town of Les Pins-Mirabeau, bordering Marseilles. Firefighters defend homes, doing their best, while waiting for their opportunity to stop it.
Signaling a fire in Les Pins-Mirabeau.
Hour after hour, reinforcements arrive, but the Mistral shows no signs of losing its strength.
How many columns can we expect here? Okay, call CODIS so we know precisely how many they are and when they arrive, and we'll dispatch them to the 2 fires.
Sending the columns 0405. They're on their way towards you, and they'll contact you on the frequency 712.
As each column arrives, they come to get their orders at the mobile HQ, then join their assignment at one of the many fires. The local residents have been evacuated to a municipal center. From there, they watch their neighborhoods being attacked by the flames.
The problem is there are too many urgent calls everywhere. We're overwhelmed.
The primary school has burned 300 square yards.
A restaurant's been destroyed.
When the fire arrives, it's going to be bad.
Volunteer rescue workers are unequipped to treat the sick patients, so they call their doctors, have pharmacies open, and organize evacuations to hospitals. People support one another. They share information and reassure friends and family who watch the fire on television. Raging after 10 years of silence, the fire attacks the firefighters.
At this rate, the fire's going to reach Marseilles.
A lot of personal vehicles have been destroyed. Rescue vehicles have been damaged also.
At the Les Pins-Mirabeau fire station, it's 2 a.m., and Gregory Alleon comes to support the troops awaiting the arrival of the flames.
The specificity of a fire like the one in Rognac is that it developed very violently. It reminds us of the dark days of the 1990s and 2003. When a fire started, it became almost uncontrollable. Sometimes you can't even fight it because it jumps so far that it becomes too large, too violent. Going close endangers the firefighters trying to stop it.
A group is planning to cross over the fire to rescue a neighborhood in trouble. Despite the enthusiasm of his men, the group leader has no confidence in this shortcut that has all the signs of a deadly trap, especially since the controller for one of the 2 water cannons is blocked, which creates a big security problem for the convoy.
We've got only 1 cannon, so you can't do anything? Does it work manually?
Yes, it does.
The problem is we can't operate it manually. In the smoke, I can't put a guy up there.
I'll go.
No way. We were already in a hot spot this afternoon. If the thing doesn't work, it doesn't work. We're on a path. There are pine woods left and right. The fire's way too virulent to go in there. I won't send my men to the slaughter.
The group leader makes his decision. You don't play the hero if there isn't a very good reason for it.
No houses to protect, so we won't take the risk. Anyway, the fire already burnt everything. It's spreading on the left flank. The problem is that the left flank is too far away from us. We can't reach it with our broken cannon, so we'll turn around and be useful in an accessible place. We'll also try to solve our problem with the cannon if possible. As soon as you can, make a U-turn. Give me 2 minutes and I'll find you a place to do that. I don't want a punctured tire. We can't go lower into the fire's fangs. It's impossible. Oh, follow me.
Oh, tu me suis. Tu fais gaffe juste à ça, regarde.
The group follows the usual procedure. It signals its availability and requests a new mission. It comes quickly. Today, 8 fires broke out in the Bouches-du-Rhône, and there are even more in the neighboring departments.
Sur un feu comme celui-là,
With a fire like this one, we had all the air support we could get. There were other fires starting elsewhere, so we had to spread our resources to cover the fire in the industrial site over in Fos-sur-Mer, which contains specific products.
particularité des
Hold on, wait a minute.
Suddenly, flames erupt in front of the fire station.
What's that? Call the van from X, it's for them.
It's an excellent opportunity to remotivate the team and remind them that they know how to put out fires, even without air assets.
la nuit, souvent qu'on a.
We often manage to extinguish fires at night. This is when the firefighters give everything they have. We've already been fighting all afternoon, since fires usually start between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Faire de gros efforts.
We've already made a huge effort, and then the guys have to make the final effort at night. Rescue center here. The fire is reaching our position. The fire is reaching the rescue center. Check with your sector chiefs. We need 1 or 2 groups as reinforcements at the fire station.
While the battle rages to redirect the fire and protect the station, a distress siren is heard on all radio frequencies. Somewhere in the hills, there are firefighters caught in the blaze. Immediately, a car and a truck are sent to find them, to retrieve them, or at least defend them from the fire.
I can't do any more.
We can't. We're maxed out.
Pack it up. We're not efficient. Scolari, do you copy?
The radio signal is weak in the hills. Drowning in the smoke, the lost team could be killed just a few yards away from their rescuers. It's always vital to know who is working and where.
I want news from G1 Aubagne, quick.
Finally, good news. The missing crew is heard on the radio.
Rognac, Aubagne group leader. We're safe. My guys and I are safe. We're letting the fire pass us. When visibility is acceptable, we will try to get out the path. Over.
Roger that. Keep everyone safe and get out of there. To all groups, nobody is to go in the massif. Protect the houses. We're not going into the woods.
The rescue team uses their water cannon to open a passage and progresses laboriously to the CCF that's in trouble.
It was hot, you know, on the left and right. If you lose your cool, it gets dangerous. When we got to the beginning of the path, we turned around, and I got out and used the cannon, you know, like that.
My vehicle was in front of the trucks. I couldn't go because of the smoke and embers. I gathered all the personnel between the 2 trucks, between the one with the beacon and the one in second position about 20 yards away. We waited until the fire passed and the smoke lightened. We spotted 2 places where we could turn, but we couldn't see well enough to use them.
We couldn't see anything.
Once again, the group escapes disaster. The smoke conceals a ravine that they barely avoided, but they finally managed to get out of the fire. More fear than harm, but Colonel Alleon reminds them strongly about the priorities and safety rules.
Codice 13, Lancelot 13, Cos-Rognac. No one is to go into that massif. We focus on defending sensitive areas only. We protect the houses. We don't go after the fire. We don't care about the trees. G1 Aubagne, I get why you did what you did. It's good, but now you get everybody out of there.
Roger that.
Like I said in recent weeks, the trees grow back. Make it clear to the staff. If we're needed to save people to make rescues, okay. That's when we go in and give everything we have. But we don't risk ourselves for a few trees. I want everybody home safe at the end of the day.
At the Le Pen-Mirabeau fire station, the medical team treats those suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide is a gas that can cause mental confusion, weakness, and even loss of consciousness in the flames or while driving a truck.
3/4 of the group is in the hospital. They're in various hospitals in Marseille for gas analysis and oxygen treatment. Our carbon monoxide rate is way too high for all of us. It's 14. We all inhaled too much smoke for an hour. The normal level is 0. We couldn't move, we were blocked, so we swallowed the smoke. But everybody stayed calm, no one panicked. Everybody stayed in place and listened. The colonel gave instructions so that we can go home. Half of us are in the hospital, and we are here, but not in very good shape.
A final goodbye to his colleagues, and then he leaves for the safety of the hospital and a night of oxygen treatment. Carbon monoxide binds to red blood cells instead of oxygen. In large doses, it causes coma and death. In a fire, it's the main danger, even before the flames.
There were 2 main conditions: eye burns with a lot of soot and carbon monoxide poisoning, some of which were quite severe and demonstrate the violence of the fire.
So some of them are back for more exams because we told them to come back if they felt something was wrong.
I think they got the message.
So, 3? Great, you're better now.
We were lucky. Nobody was seriously injured yet. There are no civilian casualties either. Those are the real issues.
For now, no one's badly injured in the Bouches-du-Rhône, but at a neighboring department, a young fireman burned in a fire will die. It's 3:30 a.m. The fire is 12 hours old. At the field HQ, Colonel Alleon prepares the final blow. In the mapping truck, the only tool of its kind in France, all the data converges to provide officers and public authorities with tactical maps in real time, enabling them to make their decisions.
On fires like this one, we must wait for the right moment to, as we say, lock the fire. The lock corresponds to the moment when we have enough hydraulic capacity to put a stop to the fire. That's the real lock.
And the moment is right. The wind decreases slightly and the fire's progress is slowed. But it's now just 2,500 feet from Marseille.
The fire is south of Penn, west of Cadno.
The fire is reaching the northern edge of Marseille.
Colonel Alleon's tactic is to strike the fire on all fronts to break its lead and even come back to spots that are not completely out. Although the troops have been in the heat for 12 hours or driving for a long time, they'll now have to make the big offensive.
The houses are in direct danger. I don't know if they've been properly evacuated.
The key word, mobility. They can't stop as long as the front lines are active, because at dawn, the Mistral may pick up again.
To all squads on the front, don't stay in place and try to stick to a position. Keep moving, keep repositioning.
Finally, the firefighters' determination pays off. Despite its branching off, the fire's progress has stopped. Marseille can now be considered out of danger. 5:30 a.m. at Mobile HQ, Colonel Alleon evaluates the situation with the reinforcements and Marseille's Marine Fire Battalion.
Let's reopen all the highways. Let's get them open. You can pass the message on.
In fact, the fire is far from over. As day begins, temperatures will rise, the wind will pick up, and the infernal monster will reignite.
Actually, they contained it. But we have to treat the edges, or it'll start again.
Near the ex-TGV train station, many spots are smoldering. They're just waiting to flame up. The stakes are high. There's the Paris-Marseille SNCF station and Europe's largest commercial center, Plan de Campagne. It's the region's economic center, stocking millions of euros in goods.
We'll lock up the D6 all the way to Plan de Campagne, but in this direction, you can leave it open. That way, Plan de Campagne is not completely cut off from business.
6 a.m., the fire trucks must patrol urban areas to protect the homes, and the Canadaires cannot yet take off. Colonel Alleon requests the intervention of the Tactical Fire Unit. Their mission? Set a counterfire that will rapidly surround the dangerous area, creating a wide belt inside of which there's nothing left to burn.
On a le brûlage dirigé, le brûlage tactique.
We can use tactical burning. I'm a firm believer in these methods. There are moments when, even in the Bouches-du-Rhône, we get overwhelmed and have to resort to these methods.
Vincent Pastor, expert forest ranger and tactical fire unit chief, coordinates the operation with his team and reinforcements from the Ardèche department.
Ready to go? Thank you for being here, guys.
Happy to help.
We need it.
Well, Ardèche is green this time of year, so some of us are in Corsica and some of us are here.
The tactical fire unit stayed in front of the fire and was more than a mile ahead. But when we arrived, it was still too late. The wind will rise, as well as the heat. I don't know if you're aware of what we've done so far. The fire started about 8 miles from here and is spreading 5 more miles that way. The left flank is inaccessible. We can't work it at all. Here, there's a big area that hasn't burnt yet, this pocket here. And we'll see if we manage to redirect it. Our goal is to treat the hot spot over there. Do you want to realign right now? You're right. If we wait too long, we won't be able to do anything. 33 Tactical Fire Unit.
Go ahead, 33.
Can you send the CCF our way so we can secure the fire zone?
As soon as it's lit, the fire is kept under control by a cannon truck. You never take your eyes off of a tactical fire, and the fire remains controlled.
To all personnel in the Tactical Fire Unit, keep watch for jumps. The COS is worried about the fire reaching the homes. They manage urban areas, protect houses and organize evacuations. The Tactical Fire Unit is comprised of 5 fire igniters, or sometimes a group. With one group, we can establish about 1 mile of ignition and help COS stand their ground on the right flank. We light the counterfire to fight against the wildfire.
Whenever possible, Vincent tries to protect the young trees.
Just the bottom, stop. We'll try to preserve it. This activity demands a physical effort. Once you're launched in an intervention, you must hydrate. You may be on the field a long time, 2-3 hours. This intervention can only happen with the authorization of the director and with people who are trained and authorized. You can't improvise being a fire igniter or part of the tactical fire unit.
Once the brush is burned, the bulldozers take over and finish cleaning the area. "8 a.m., 17 hours after the battle began, the fire is officially stopped. According to Colonel Alleon, it's now Commander Michel Maufoy's turn to take command of relief operations. His mission, prevent the fire from rekindling. He will tour the sites and personally meet all the area chiefs to get a clear idea of the overall situation. His first visit will be with Fabrice Mosset, who will soon take off again aboard Horus 13.
I'll show you the area. I'll show you the hotspots. There are a few houses in very deep valleys. I'm not even sure how people managed to build their houses there. But the fire hit them hard. Houses burned and they were hard to reach. It was really dangerous.
Michel and Fabrice draw their first conclusions. It's a new type of fire in a new urban environment, demanding new methods in firefighting.
When you look at the map, what you see is that you already have a big sprawl, which doesn't help us.
We have to react, but we have to work differently. We'll be fighting these fires very close to the population.
The Rognac fire proved one thing. Preventing forest fires calls for active participation from the area's inhabitants.
The wildfire can't be classified as a natural disaster, so there can't be a decree sanctioning it. So regular vegetation clearing is very important to get a good compensation from the insurer. Clearing means removing all combustible materials near the house to prevent the house from burning and to prevent the fire from spreading from house to house.
The time for adding up the damage is at hand. a brand new vocational school, a restaurant, a truck dealership, numerous vehicles, and 35 houses. Millions of euros have been lost. Nature has been disfigured and families ruined. Some thought they could finance their retirement by renting a house on their land.
Our project is destroyed.
On the bottom, there was a large terrace. And behind that, a kitchen, and a bedroom, and a bathroom.
So we'll do something else. We'll work on another house, and maybe we won't have to rebuild that one.
Anyway, we won't get back everything we've lost. This is what's left of a lifetime.
Only part of a lifetime. After something like this, you start another life. The best way to go on is to stop thinking about what happened and start thinking about what will happen in the future.
For the Rognac fire, the pressure has dropped. So the first reinforcement brigades need to be sent home, including those from departments that are also exposed to fires.
Papa Charlie Rognac to Kos, we're disengaging the Var column, then gradually the columns from Ile-de-France and Serra.
Vehicle packed and ready to go.
Get home safely. Thanks for the help. I hope you won't have to come back soon.
I hope you're right, and you're very welcome.
Before taking off in Horus 13, Fabrice Mousset is visited by Lieutenant Robert Mugeli, his former colleague who spent a rather agitated night on the cliffs of the right flank.
It'll be interesting to see if we did a good job.
The Rognac fire is stabilized, but every potential source must be carefully examined.
Hello, this is a Pratt & Whitney. It's a Canadian 675 horsepower, reliable, much more reliable than piston engines. A piston engine is 3 times heavier.
Let's keep that turbine then.
The only problem is the price. An engine like this costs 250,000 euros.
Wow. Okay, Robert, see you later.
Fly safe. You'll tell me if we did good work.
Well, I certainly will, especially if you missed a few spots.
Fabrice takes off again on Horus 13. Their mission, to examine the entire territory ravaged by the fire, with, of course, a special look at the area managed by his friend Robert. Every ember smoldering in the hummus can trigger another fire. Rekindling is sure to happen.
So after yesterday's fire, our mission today is to survey the area, circle around it, and assess how much area has burned. Also to identify potential hotspots on the edges, spots that could reactivate.
In a private property, a column of smoke draws their attention.
Is that a fire?
Excuse me?
Is this guy starting a fire?
If it's a barbecue, they've got a lot of meat to grill, but I don't think it's a barbecue at all. No, it's probably a rekindling. Code is Horus 13. I have a rekindling to signal in a dense forest area.
Roger that. We'll handle it.
Fabrice Mousset pursues his mission, guided by Horus 13's thermal camera. Whenever a hot spot is located, a ground crew is sent to investigate.
Coming.
Smoke rises from the bottom of a steep ravine. It's an opportunity for the rookie firefighters to train hard with the veterans.
Be careful because there's retardant everywhere, and if you get some in your eyes, it stings like crazy. Don't go further than 200 yards. Get the hoses in place.
Okay, I go over there.
Go over there, We have enough space. Do you see any smoke on the other side of the valley? There you go. Have fun. Put your glasses on first to protect your eyes. Be careful.
We have to pay close attention when we're flooding because a fire can start under the ground cover in the humus layer. We have to work with the hoses to flood the ground and drown any ember which, with the first strong gust of wind or with the rising heat, could rekindle the very next day.
Do you want me to take over?
To be at ease in the face of an actual forest fire, they must first learn to control the material and the procedures.
Look, we covered it earlier, but it's still not enough.
This ravine is difficult to access, so to avoid coming back here, they use a foaming agent that will fix a wet film on the vegetation, smothering the embers for several hours.
Good thing we're here.
Go to the right, it's less steep.
Just above the ravine, Michel comes to assess Lieutenant Mugelli's site.
Nico! Wait, turn the hose that way.
Robert Mugelli is a specialist in interventions in steep terrains inaccessible for the trucks.
There are nice excavations here, around 7 yards deep. We jumped across to get to those rocks over there.
He's a member of an elite unit, the DIH, composed of ultra-motivated firefighters able to lay out several miles of hose to supply their nozzles. DIH can occupy any environment, on foot or by helicopter. They're assigned to missions on steep hills or to other totally inaccessible spots. Luckily for Michel, he won't need to climb down. Robert, Robert and his DIH team are wrapping up their mission.
All good, Cos? When I arrived, it was completely inaccessible. A boar would get lost. Some of us fell and got hurt. It burnt good here. I wouldn't have wanted to be there. The heat must have been really high over there. The rocks are completely cracked.
Robert and his team flooded the fire's periphery 3 times. Yet some smoke gets his attention. Despite their great care, there are still some hot spots.
Ah, I found it. I need to get it from the side. There it is.
Once every 10 years, a fire occurs, a monstrous fire that overwhelms the firefighters. They can't stop it. They can only accompany it to protect the people and their homes and choke it out gradually. Lighting a fire is not a job or a political act. It's just a cowardly, easy act. In this case, it was simply due to carelessness, simply due to the inexcusable negligence of someone who thought that they were above the laws of physics. The Rhône fire will mark a turning point in the fight against forest fires. Will it shake up years of laxness and urbanization? Michel and Robert and all the others will spend 2 weeks preventing the embers from reigniting. But it's only August 11th, and they still have a month to keep up with the compulsive arsonists, the brainless smokers, and other nature lovers.